Alright, in this video we're going to go over the solutions to ratio and proportion problems in our pre-instruction assessment. Alright, first things first, I want to let you know that there are many ways to solve all these problems. I'm going to highlight one way that you can use if you feel like you're really stuck. So for instance here, we look at our first question. It says Uzma needs 2 eggs to make 14 cupcakes. How many cupcakes can she make with 6 eggs? So one way to do this question is to look at how much it is for just 1 egg. So this is a simple way to do it. We take 14 cupcakes and we divide this by 2 eggs, and this is going to give us 7 cupcakes for every 1 egg, which means if we have 6 eggs, we can simply take 6 eggs times 7, and that's going to give us 42 cupcakes, and that's our solution to the very first one. All right, many ways to solve these problems, of course. Now, as we look over here, question number 2, how many eggs will she need to make 35 cupcakes? So for this, I can make what's called a ratio table, and I'm going to look at this. I'm going to say, well, I have my eggs, and I have my cakes. I'm going to make my table, and I know that 1 egg is 7, and so I can just continue on with this, and I can say, well, 2 will be 14, 3 will be 21, I'm adding 7 each time here, 4 will be 28, 5 will be 35, and now I found my solution here. It's going to take 5 eggs in order to make 35 cupcakes. All right, same thing down here. Looking at this problem here, it costs $4.60 for 4 sticky buns. So all I'm going to do with this is I'm going to say, you know what, I want to find out how much it is for 1. So I'm going to take 460 and I divide that by 4 buns. And that, take my calculator here, I'm going to take 460, divide by 4, and that gives me $1.15 per bun. Now, once again, if I know how much it is for 1, I can find out how much it is for many. So over here, I'm going to take $1.15, and I'm going to multiply that by 5, because I'm taking 5 buns there. All right, and that's going to be $1.15 times 5, 1.15 times 5, gives me $5.75. And that is the cost for 5 sticky buns. Okay. The next question is a little bit more complicated, but we can solve it in exactly the same way. So over here, I know that every liter of gasoline costs $1.10, and I know that you can travel 100 kilometers on 8 liters. So that to me says that liters is going to cost $8.80. And that is for 100 kilometers. Okay, so now I'm looking at it as my cost for every 100 kilometers. Okay, now the nice thing with this is, once again, I can break this down and I can look at this as how much it is for 1 kilometer. So I'm going to take 880 over 100 kilometers. And if I divide that, I'm going to take 8.80 divided by 100. And that's going to give me 0.088. or about 8.8 cents. And that's for every kilometer. Okay. Now that we know how much it is for 1, we can find out how much it is for anything. So I know that the trip is going to be 450 kilometers, and so I'm going to take my 88, or 0.088, or 8.8 cents, that's per kilometer, and I'm going to multiply that by 450 kilometers. Okay, let's see what we get. 0.088 times 450. Okay. And that gives me $39.60. Okay, and that's our solution for question number 4. All right, like I said, there are many different ways that we can solve problems involving ratio and proportion. These are just some of them. So one way, recapping, is finding just for 1 of something, a ratio table, and then, of course, using that unit rate down below. All right, just one of many different ways we can solve these problems. Keep trying and see if you can find some other ways.